Alrighty, welcome to a fast first pick because it took a little bit to load. All right, I wanted to pick Grief. I had a little bit of an issue when we got started, but we're here. We're in a single elim queue with a bunch of the folks from the Discord. In fact, Abe the Mage, Abe Corrigan's passing to me. I'm passing to Ninja Berserker, don't know them, but Max Smith, Sneaky Homunculus, Mati, Terabad, and Updraft Elemental. So we got 7 out of 8 from the Cube Discord. Partially because we like the higher competition levels. It's kind of hard to go from like team drafting to league drafting. It can be very fun, but it is nice to battle against other Cube diehards. So we all rush the single elim queue, and I'm going to go Grief into Duress. Didn't really get a chance to talk it through, but the first pack had Luris, Grief, Pest Infestation, and Balance as the cards that I think are great. I don't mind starting with any of those. But I like Grief, and I also kind of just panicked at the end. But that's fine. I'm going to take Duress now. Passing, Sneak, Prismatic Vista, Frantic Search. Duress is very good, though. And pick 3. I might just Memory Lapse here. I really love Memory Lapse. And we could be Blue-Black, Reanimate. Grim Monolith is a powerful card, but neither of the cards we have work well with it. Obviously, I would just take a black card if there was a good black card here, but Cabal Ritual's not it. And I like Memory Lapse more than Blackcleave Cliffs or Subtlety. So we're going to go with Memory Lapse. And then what? Got a couple options. Got Bayou. A black duels. Not bad. It's probably the worst of the duels for given my start. I mean, Sultai can be fine. Ledger Shredder's too weak. Mana Confluence, I think, is just too bad compared to Bayou. But there's also Ashen Rider. Ashen Rider would work nicely in a Reanimate deck. This is kind of early to be taking Ashen Rider. The best card, I think, is honestly Prismari Command or Rabble Master, are the strongest cards, but they don't go at all with what I have right now. I think I'm just going to take Bayou. Maybe if we end up Sultai. So on the one hand, there's Birds of Paradise. I think that is the strongest card, but I don't think I can pass up a Bitter Triumph here. The thing I like about Bitter Triumph is it's a great removal spell, but it also lets you discard if you want. Paying 3 life is totally fine, but having the option to discard, because given that I started with Grief, I am going to be interested in drafting Reanimator. So I will pass the Birds, though I did like Birds. This pack, of note, Portal to Phyrexia is gone. It's possible Tireless Tracker Wheels, but I'm really happy here. Getting a 6-pick Dothy Voidwalker is a great sign, and once I take the Voidwalker, I basically am mono black. I've got a Memory Lapse and a Bayou, but neither of those pull me in too strong of a direction. Black seems open. I think the Luris would have worked out well as a first pick also. If I had gone Luris, I still would have taken Duress probably, and then Memory Lapse, and then Bayou, Bitter Triumph, and Dothy Voidwalker. All those would have been good too, but I like this start. We've got a strong start to Black, Green, or Sultai, and now, honestly, I might just take Overgrown Tomb. I don't think Deadly Dispute's very good. I don't really care if I miss out on some medium removal spells or some Garrux. And if I have Overgrown Tomb now, then I could easily be Black, Green if that's what I want to end up doing. Okay, now we're going to move things over a little bit here because Grave Titan has entered the chat. I think Oracle Will Die is just too weak of a card these days. Look, it's playable in some decks, but it's not like a card I'm automatically going to be happy playing. And I think Grave Titan does a pretty good job of being a Reanimate target that you can actually cast. And this deck could be a black mid-range. We don't know. I mean, obviously I have Overgrown Tomb and Bayou, so playing green cards would be a little appealing. I have this Memory Lapse, which I suppose could have been Prismatic Vista. No, Prismatic Vista was versus the Duress. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to just take Gonti now. Just be black mid-range. Crucible of Worlds is interesting, but I don't even have a fetch land, so take Grief, Gonti. I mean, this is working out nicely. Now I think I will take Woodfall Primus, though. Woodfall Primus is a decent card to reanimate, especially with Recurring Nightmare. It's great, because you recur it into play, then you sack it to Recurring Nightmare, it comes back, and you get something else back. I don't mind missing out on Lava Claw Reachers. There is also Kaito the Dancing Shadow. I only have the one blue card. It's not like I'm locked into that. But actually, this looks like a pretty good Kaito deck. Maybe I'll just do that. There's also Lingering Souls, but I haven't really seen a reason to take that. I think I'll try the Kaito. I guess the biggest thing is Woodfall Primus. If I knew I was getting Flash, I would definitely be happy with Woodfall Primus. But I think that it doesn't, besides Recurring Nightmare, it's not good with Shallow Grave because it doesn't persist back. It's not good with Corpse Dance. It's just okay with all the reanimates, so it's a low tier reanimate card, and I could easily just be blue-black mid-range with some black-green duels that currently aren't even doing anything for me, but who knows, they might at some point. And we'll see what comes up. All right, so here is that Cabal Ritual back, but it doesn't even look good in this deck. I think I'm just going to take Black Cleave Cliffs. There's definitely a chance this could end up being black-red. I guess I'll take Nissa, but I'll put it in the sideboard. I don't. It's not a card that works particularly well with the cards I have right now, and I don't really see a big reason to take it. Phyrexian Dragon Engine, I think, is just kind of a weak card. You know what? I'll take Lightning Greaves. Lightning Greaves could be good with Voidwalker, I guess. Definitely good with Grave Titan. I don't know. I'm going to put it in the sideboard anyway. Okay. A decent pack one. We have Grief, Duress, Bitter Triumph, and Dathi Voidwalker as pretty strong cards. I guess I'll take Bloodthirsty Adversary. Maybe something happens there. Grave Titan and Gaunty are both kind of mid. Garruk, I think, is just not very good. Memory Lapse is good. I don't have any blue duels yet, but there's still plenty of time. Black has seemed reasonably open, so as long as we just take black cards, I think we'll end up in a decent spot here, but obviously it'd be nice to open something pretty powerful. Even if it's not power, a nice reanimate or something along those lines. Oh man, Tinker and Academy when I just can't take them? Unlucky, really. No chance I can take either of these cards. I'm just not doing that in the slightest. I have one artifact. It's a Lightning Greaves. Also, Portal of Phyrexia is already gone. Well, I guess I take Custodial Lich. It's not exciting, but there's nothing here. I mean, Lotus Petal's just not that good of a card for these kinds of decks, sure. I'll take Custodial Lich. All right, I'll take Animate Dead over the One Ring. I think Animate Dead is quite strong. I already have a Bitter Triumph, and it's also one of the ones that combo great with Grief, so that's at least good. Animate Dead, not much that I expect to wheel. And now there's Persist, which actually also works with Grief and Grave Titan. Okay, I'll take Persist, so at least this is open. We're opening bad packs, but we're getting past good cards because we're cunningly in the right spot. So it's what I'm saying is I'm getting unlucky, but my skill is granting me good cards. Take Persist over Brainstorm, Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, it's not that third picking Persist is the dream or anything, but it wasn't really competing with much. All right, well, getting a fourth pick Vampiric Tutor is pretty nice. Seasoned Engineer is also a good card, but I shouldn't take another color of card when Vamp works really nicely in the Animate decks. And if I'm lucky, Collective Brutality might come back, though I'm not holding my breath on that one. All right, and oh, here's a Watery Grave. There's also a Palace Jailer. White's definitely open from this direction, and even though Palace Jailer is actually a decent card to reanimate, I think I'm going to just cut those lands and then put in Watery Grave, and now I've got a chance of playing Memory Lapse and Kaito. And I don't think Makeshift Mannequin is a card I care about losing. The blue cards, these are both pretty good blue cards, and blue in general does pair nicely with the reanimate colors. There's a lot of blue card draw that lets you discard. So I haven't seen any of the really good reanimate targets, but it's not like we've seen them and passed them, they just haven't gone by. Ashen Rider, I guess, is the best one so far. Oh, there's Leovold. Leovold's interesting because I do have these two lands, and if I do end up playing blue, then the Leo Splash isn't really too costly. I don't think none of these other cards really fit, so Leo's good. Plus, it's a black card. I can always pitch it to Grief if I do end up in a tight spot. Ooh, and there's a Fallen Shinobi. All right, I love Fallen Shinobi, and this is actually not quite a good Fallen Shinobi deck, but it's on its way there, because if I pick up some of the cheap black creatures, which I don't think too many people want, it'll be good. Don't mind missing out on Damnation or Chain Lightning. And I just find Fallen Shinobi to be a really strong card if you can make it work, and we're kind of in a position to do so. All right, now there's a Darkslick Shores. Sure, we've got another fixing land, passing out Auriok Salvagers to someone maybe lucky enough to get a Black Lotus. I wouldn't know that. And this ended up being a pretty good pack. Obviously, Custodial Lich is a terrible first pick. It's really bad. But picked up Darkslick Shores, a Watery Grave, a Shinobi, a Leovold, and more importantly, a Persist, an Animate Dead, and a Vampire Tutor. So that's a pretty solid set of cards. I wouldn't mind Evolved Sleeper wheeling. Evolved Sleeper is actually a card I would be interested in playing now that I've gotten this Fallen Shinobi. It's a borderline playable without it, but with Shinobi, I think it becomes actively good. And this pack doesn't have any cards I want. The question really is, am I going to play a Wormcoil or a Terra Sunder? Like, they're both kind of sideboard cards. I think I'd rather have a Terra Sunder for the sideboard. There's a world where maybe I board that in, whereas I don't think Wormcoil is going to make the cut. I guess I would board it in also, but even the aggro decks are generally pretty good at dealing with it. And here we have Badlands. It is pretty strong to have another black-red land, but there's also Phantasmal Image, which normally I'm not a huge fan of, but it's actually kind of nice with Grief, Dothy Voidwalker, Custodial Lich, Grave Titan. All right, I'll Phantasmal Image here. I think it's more likely that I want Phantasmal Image in my deck than that I'll try to play red. There's not that much red that I like to splash here. Oh, Evolved Sleeper Wield, nice. Definitely better than Talisman. Don't want Dark Depths, yeah. Okay, we've got a nice little blue-black deck going here. Still could use a powerful card or two. We're just going to be a little outmatched in terms of power level. But, even something like Entomb would be such an awesome pickup. All right, and then now there's an Infernal Grasp. Yeah, that came back around over Pestermite, Bonecrusher Giant, and Sentinel. All totally fine here. I mean, going into pack 3, we have 17 playables that I'm really not too unhappy playing. Yeah, I like it. I mean, like, for example, turn 2 Dothy Voidwalker, turn 3 copy it, and then, like, Duress You. It's a great start. Dothy Voidwalker turns into Fallen Shinobi nicely. A lot of good stuff here. And here's a Scrubland, which maybe I'll play. I don't care about these other 2 cards. Actually, honestly, I think I would rather take Elish Norn as a sideboard card than Woestrider. Woestrider is just terrible. All right, so here's our wish list. Oh, Witherbloom Command's actually not a 0, depending on what our mana base looks like at the end. We want, obviously power would be great, but Entomb and something like Archon of Cruelty or Atroxa are high on my list. All right, well, Soul Ring is not bad. Turn 2 Grief, turn 2 Gaunty, all look nice. Not the biggest combo with Leovold, but we'll live with that. And if we're really lucky, Troll of Khazad-dûm will come back. I'm not counting on that one, but it's possible Chartacourse does. Like, imagine Marsh Flats, Stoneforge, Fatal Push, Delighted Halfling definitely all go, or at least very likely all go. Maybe Giver of Runes. That means that Troll and Chartacourse could skate by here. This pack is not exciting. I mean, there's a Creeping Tar Pit, and that is a really good card. There's also Spell Pierce, though. I like Tar Pit a lot here. It's not really a combo with Fallen Shinobi. That's difficult to maneuver. But a Tar Pit is a good card. I don't care about anything else here. Tar Pit versus Spell Pierce. I think Tar Pit's just better than Xander's Lounge, given that I'm not playing red, and I have a fetchable blue-black land already. I'm a big Tar Pit believer, so really could use a good reanimate target, and, well, an Entomb is obviously on the wish list. But, yeah, Soul Ring was a good start. Tar Pit was then a disappointing pick too, but a lot of pack left. Let's see what we can get. In here, well, this isn't really a Corpse Dance deck. Honestly, none of my cards are even good to Corpse Dance. Like, it's fine to Corpse Dance a Grave Titan. It's not even incredibly good to Corpse Dance a Custodial Lich. There's a Remand in my deck, or in my pack. So I'm going to take Remand. Not a Skull Clamp deck really either, but Remand is fantastic, so happy to take that. And then this pack has some good ones too. I'm thinking Liliana of the Veil here. I don't need a land. My mana base is doing pretty well here. I can't splash to Fairy. Concealing Curtains might come back, and that would be nice. Liliana's just a good value card. Like, it works with the animate stuff, but it also works to, like, get their creature off the board and all that. There's a Shallow Grave. The problem is, if I take Shallow Grave, I'm really banking on my last 3 packs here or so that I haven't seen to have something good to Shallow Grave back. It is kind of wild that we haven't seen Itali, Atroxa, or Archon, or even Torsten, the green-white 7/7. But if I don't take Shallow Grave, I guess it's just taking Blooming Marsh. I don't need a Blooming Marsh here. Let's just take the Shallow Grave and hope that we encounter something decent. No, but there is a currency converter. I really do like that card. It's good a combo with like Liliana, for example. If you have a converter in play and you +1 Liliana, whatever you discard can just go under the converter and start doing stuff immediately. On the other hand, there is Urtai, and Urtai is fantastic with Soul Ring and Fallen Shinobi. Might Urtai come back? 1, 2, 3. No, not really. This pack doesn't have enough good cards. What would I rather have in this deck? I have a good amount of creatures. Honestly, I think Currency Converter is just really good. Sad. Underworld Breach. All right, we're not going to get anything big to bring back. I guess I could take a blue-black Talisman. There's nothing in my sideboard that's all that impressive. I'm looking at Ophiomancer. Maybe I just take Ophiomancer. I don't really think this is that much of a Talisman deck. I have all these 2-drops. Ophiomancer's a fine card. Well, now there's a Grist. I'll play Grist. And Currency Converter helps with the splash, by the way. It can make treasures. So weird draft that animate stuff seemed reasonably open, but still didn't see a single reanimate target. So currently we're playing 16 land plus a Soul Ring, which kind of means I want to cut a card. And I guess the Shallow Grave is going to be the card I cut. It doesn't do anything in this deck. I'll end up playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue cards. I have 3 blue-black lands, and then Grist and Leo is the only green cards off the Bayou, Overgrown Tomb, and maybe like a Forest. All right, not bad. Not great, but not bad. Oh, fantastic wheel. Really good luck. Because wheeling Troll of Khazad-dûm not only fixes all 3 of my colors, because it can go get Bayou or Watery Grave, it also is a great card. Just turn 1 Troll, turn 2 Persist. You have a 5/4 unblockable on turn 2. That's pretty good. And it doesn't even take a spell slot. You get to play it 1 less land when you just put Troll in your deck. So, see, that's the thing. Troll of Khazad-dûm wheeled. It just makes me think I'm the only reanimator player, or at least the only one really going hard at it. And either the sneak attack players or show and tell players took the big targets, or they just weren't opened, or some combination. Like, I don't expect to get a 7th pick Archon. Someone's going to want it. So it just could be that all the big creatures were opened far enough away from me that someone took them. Oh, interesting. Botanical Sanctum versus Virtue of Persistence. I think I just like Botanical Sanctum here. And there's also a Maelstrom Pulse, I guess, but I've got a lot of playables. I'm already cutting cards, and I've got Infernal Grasp, Bitter Triumph, Liliana, Ophiomancer is good against aggro. Let's just take the land, make my mana base good. Probably not at the point where I play Nissa, but honestly, I might get this Witherbloom command in there. This card's surprisingly good. The modes you really want to cast it on, if you can destroy a non-creature, non-land permanent that costs 2 or less, like a Mox or Talisman, awesome. And then either kill one of their creatures, so like the classic is if you play against someone who goes like birds into Talisman or whatever, birds into Mox, and you just kill them both. Incredible. Or you do the mill 3 cards and get a land back just to get a card back out of it and kill something with one of the other 2 modes. So I like Witherbloom Command. Do I want to play it over a 17th land or not? I don't know. Getting the Troll plus the Botanical Sanctum does make me more likely. You know what? I actually think Serra Emissary might be decent here. I don't know that I'm going to main deck it. My experience so far has been that this card isn't the best main deck card, but certainly a good sideboard card. I mean, I really only have the 2 animates. Oh, Concealing Curtains did wheel. See, it does feel like black's pretty open. I guess probably side in Witherbloom. Curtains is also nice with Shinobi. Turn 3, you flip Curtains and attack for 3. Then turn 4, since you cleared the path, you get to Shinobi them. I'll just take a Hex Mage, I suppose. And Abrupt Decay is a card I could definitely side in. Mosswood Dread Knight, actually not an unreasonable card to play. I think I probably will play it. All right, last pick there. So here is kind of the question. Once I take out my lands, and I'm counting Troll straight up as a land, this is 25 cards, though there is a Soul Ring, which you could count as a land if you wanted to, or at least a mana source. Well, I think when I look at the cards I want to cut, Kaito, Ophiomancer, Dread Knight, I think Phantasmal Image actually looks decent here. Infernal Grasp are kind of the ones I'm looking at. And I either have to cut 2 or 1, depending on how you value Sol Ring, whether I want to run 1 fewer land. I guess with the currency converter too, I could see running 15 lands plus a troll, so 16 lands plus troll and Sol Ring. Yeah, so I like Kaito a decent amount. Dread Knight actually seems great, especially when running fewer lands, because just casting Dread Whispers and then at some point casting Dread Knight seems good. I think I'd rather run... Well, the thing is, actually, Ophiomancer works really nicely with Fallen Shinobi too. So maybe I just cut the Infernal Grasp, because I have Bitter Triumph, I have Ophiomancer, Custodial Lich, Liliana, Grist. I have a good amount of removal spells already. All right, I mean, I really don't mind this deck. It really is missing one big reanimate target. That's like the biggest fault with this deck, I think. But the mana's good. It's got a Sol Ring, which is a powerful card. It's got, it's a pretty decent Fallen Shinobi deck. It's got a Vamp and a Duress, Memory Lapse, and Remand. Like, yeah, this deck has definitely some action going for it. All right, so looking at these lands, do I even need a basic forest? It's kind of the first question. Because right now I have Overgrown Tomb, Bayou, Botanical Sanctum, Troll. It's 4 green sources plus currency converter. And I don't have any initiative cards, so there's no searching for a basic in here. Let's see. If I don't play a basic forest, and if I play 3 islands, that leaves me 6, 7, 8 blue sources plus converter, and 6, 11, 12 black sources. I honestly could go 7 and 2, so I'll have 13 black sources and 7 blue sources. I really only need single blue, and I really need double and even triple black would be useful. All right, this looks like a fine start. Let's see how this does. Alrighty, time for round 1. I would like to play first, and yeah, I'm going to keep the hand where I go turn 1 Sol Ring, currency converter, turn 2 Gonti, with a Vamp ready, just in case. No, well, not really just in case. More like once I see what I'm playing against and what I Gonti into and all that, I can decide what to Vamp for. Okay. It's a shame that me and my currency converter and Sol Ring couldn't take that Tolarian Academy, but we are not in the space to take Tolarian Academy. Okay, Zeator's Proving Ground, interesting. Ooh. Phantasmal Image is not bad. All right. Let's Gonti it up here. Pentad Prism, Pia, and Kiran Nalar in Forest. Look at the cards. Okay. I'll take Pia and Kiran Nalar. I don't really think taking Pentad Prism is necessary here. So it looks like we're playing against, green. I guess I could Vamp to kill Rofellos. But what I can do is, instead I can draw, and if I want to, I can Vamp and use Currency Converter to draw it to kill the Rofellos. The question is, oh, you know what? I actually want to do something different. I'm just going to go for it. We're going to Vamp for Fallen Shinobi here. Yeah, cannot resist. And then draw, land, Currency Converter, not really doing a whole lot here. And then I get to Fallen Shinobi. All right. Boom. Let's see it. Let's see it. Any Emrakuls? No, but I hit Mox Jet and Questing Druid. Oh, interesting. So I can actually go Seek the Beast. But then I have until end of turn. So I can't, there's no way to, the only way I can get a card off Seeking the Beast here would be if I hit Duress or Grief. So I think I just cast Questing Druid here. That's kind of tough. It's interesting. I mean, obviously I'm going to play the Mox Jet, and Rofellos is going to get to do something here. I'm just deciding, do I want to play Seek the Beast, looking for exactly those cards? There's no other card that I can play in my deck, I don't think. I mean, I guess Concealed Curtains or Evolved Sleeper. But how good is Questing Beast in play? It actually doesn't do that much. Let's Seek the Beast. I hit Grist and Watery Grave. Yeah, sure. No, I'm actually kind of glad because I don't want to draw any of those. And There's no point. I can't do anything else past the turn. And I still get to cast Questing Druid later, by the way, if I wasn't clear on that. Which I can. It does take green now, but I have green in my deck plus Currency Converter. All right, I got 6 mana in Raphellos. The good thing is I have Phantasmal Image, so I kind of feel like most big Raphellos plays, I can Phantasmal Image. Let's see, Kogla. Yeah, so what I'm probably going to do is copy Kogla and fight the Raphellos here. Don't need to upkeep. Stop. I mean, I can Gonti first. I don't think there's a... Yeah, because I want to get Gonti into play just in case that Kogla attacks me. Look at the cards. All right, I'll take Questing Beast. Phantasmal Image. Target Kogla. Fight your Raphellos. And I will play my Dark Slick Shores. Even with Currency Converter in play, it kind of feels like having more mana in play. I should play my tap land. If it was an untapped land, maybe not, but I think this is fine. Here, even if Mati has a way to kill Kogla, which he does, the Gonti can block it, though he does get to kill my Currency Converter. Screw a Tribe Elder, sure. Or he can wait to draw a human, but I think killing the Currency Converter has to be really appealing here. I have so much mana that killing the Soul Ring doesn't make too much sense. The cool thing about this, though, is next turn I get to go Questing Beast plus P and Karen Alar if I draw a land. And if I don't draw a land, well, at least I'll draw a spell and get to play one of them. Because remember, the 2 Gontied cards I can play without spending mana. The Questing Druid I actually need green mana for. All right, I will block because I don't want that to start attacking me later. Draw land. All right, Questing Beast. P and Karen Alar, which is not actually the most exciting given I don't have any red mana right now. And my, well, actually with the Currency Converter being destroyed, I just don't have red mana. But this is a pretty good strike force given Mati's at 11 here. Gonna get to crack Sakura Tribe Elder, get a mountain. So this could be like a red-green sneak style deck for sure. Now I hope to draw not land and like Grave Titan or something. Persist would be great, any of those. Animate Dead. Remand or Memory Lapse probably puts the game away, but honestly, if Mati doesn't have a good play this turn, then the game ends already. I have 8 power on board. Opponent's got 4 land in play. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Let's see how he goes. All right, so I definitely want Infernal Grassband against red-green. A little skeptical on this Duress. He played a Lightning Bolt. I saw a Mox Jet, and every other card was a creature. So I kind of think that, I do think I want Sarah's Emissary to name creature. Seems like red-green's going to have a hard time dealing with that. What do we cut, though? I don't want to cut Phantasmal Image. That one's great. I could cut the Currency Converter. No, not if I'm boarding in Sarah Emissary. I would like... Because right now, Sarah Emissary, I have Currency Converter. Oh, I really don't have enough ways to discard. I have Bitter Triumph. That's it? Yeah, maybe I don't play that. Maybe I do want Witherbloom Command. Yeah, I saw Mox Jet, and and now I can just cut the Currency Converter. And that leaves me 1, 2, 3, 4 green sources. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right. See how this goes. Grave Titan is pretty good in this kind of matchup. No, this hand's a lot less exciting than the first one, but I don't think I'm supposed to mulligan. Turn 1 Concealing Curtains into these plays on turn 4. It's not bad. And yeah, Fallen Shinobi lines up nicely. This is another draw where Soul Ring would be a welcome addition to speed it up. Ophiomancer is not really that great here because I already had a 3-drop. All right, let's just hope Mati's turn 3 play isn't super good because then I get to flip Concealing Curtains and Brent the next play, hopefully. And then the turn after that, I get to either Fallen Shinobi or Kaito or maybe Gonti. 3 mana. What you got? Let's see. There's not that much that kills Concealing Curtains here for 3 mana. Honestly, there's nothing jumping out at me. Like what? I don't really know what this could be. Could be a Wheel of Fortune. That'd be weird. Oh, Tireless Tracker. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I do think I want to flip the curtains here because Yeah, that doesn't change anything. I'm just scared of what, like a sneak attack or something. I guess he probably would have played sneak this turn. Craterhoof, Behemoth, Faithless Looting, Escape to the Wilds. Interesting. And Monster Manual. I think I'm going to take Escape because drawing a land to play Escape would be pretty bad. I'll attack. I'm not going to get to block here because assuming Mati plays a land, and if he doesn't draw a land, he's going to cast Faithless Looting first to find one. Two clues in play means the Tireless Tracker threatens to be a 5/4, so the Concealing Curtains cannot block it. Next turn, I'll probably just Fallen Shinobi. It kind of depends on what Monty does this turn, I suppose. I guess if you just like had a green and then threatens to go Monster Manual, activate, put Craterhoof into play, that's a lot of damage. So I might be in a spot where I would want to like play a Kaito and make it so Tireless Tracker can't attack or something. But okay, so if he didn't draw land, he's going to start by casting Faithless Looting, which is a good sign for me. It's actually, it double shows the split cards there. So he's got 6 cards in hand. I know what 2 of them are. Let's find out what's left. I assume he's probably going to have hit a land here off this looting. If not, I guess that would put him in a lot of trouble. But all right, he's discarding the Monster Manual and Arid Mesa. Okay, that makes a lot of sense because that Misty can just get a green land. Okay, but didn't want the Monster Manual, huh? What do we have here? Because Monster Manual seems pretty good. All right, Sneak Attack. 2 cards left. One's a Craterhoof. Okay. I need to draw Grief. That's what I need to draw here. Oh, Mox Jet. Oh, so your last card in hand is Craterhoof. Memory Left doesn't help here. So what are my options? I'm probably just going to Fallen Shinobi here, to be honest. Because the problem is, I could go Kaito and make it so this can't attack. But next turn, Mati is going to draw a card for turn, have a bunch of clues he can crack, and if he finds any other creatures, the Craterhoof does it. I'm probably going to lose here because I don't have a way to get Sneak off the board or discard the Craterhoof. So I think I just attack and Fallen Shinobi and hope to hit like an Emrakul or a way to blow up Sneak, like maybe a Reclamation Sage. Obviously, there's not a lot of hope here, but I feel like this gives me a decent shot. All right, what do we got? Raphaelos and Derogatory Speaker. Yeah, so I guess I would have died already. I'll cast them both, and I'll probably lose here. I don't lose on the board, because Craterhoof plus Tireless Tracker plus 2 clues, that's 5, 7, 14 damage. But if basically Mati finds any other... No, I guess one more creature, 16. But if it's a creature... Well, sorry, it's a creature that can attack. Yes, it will just kill me. So any other creature kills me. All right, Forest is the first draw. Got to tap that Mind Stone. Clue token. So, I mean, I guess if he misses on draw step plus 2 clue draws, if those 3 draws don't find a creature, I win. Otherwise, or not, I win. I don't lose. Okay, he's cracking another clue? If that's the case, then, you know what he should have done is instead of cracking the last clue, cast Faithless Looting and left 2 mana up. Because the thing is, if he goes down to 1 mana, then Craterhoof by itself doesn't kill me. It's 6, 8 plus 7 is 15 damage. Okay, Sylvan Library. Okay. So now you're going to have to trade off for the Fallen Shinobi here, I'm sure. But I've got Kaito. I also have Concealing Curtains make you discard Craterhoof. Oh, and I Raphaelos taps for a mana. Okay. So what do I do now? Because I could Kaito, and if I Kaito, the Tireless Tracker can't attack, I can hit with Fallen Shinobi. And then the Craterhoof has a really hard time killing me anyways. And there is a chance, pretty low chance, but there is a chance that I hit a blue for memory lapse. No. Let me see. Is there a way for me to cast Concealing Curtains here? Not really. But it still seems worth it. So, but let's animate the Tree Speaker, I guess. Is there any way... I guess if I Kaito the Tireless Tracker, he could put in Crater Hoof to block, but that's fine. That gets rid of the Crater Hoof, so I'm okay with that. Do I want to leave a black up, or do I want to leave Raphelos up? I guess I should leave black. Oh, no, I have to tap black. All right. Hold on, I have to leave Raphelos up. Oh, I guess I should have tapped Raphelos to cast the Kaito. Sure. Kaito Dancing Shadow. +1. This can't attack or block. And I don't think I attack with the Raphelos here. I think you kind of have to sneak in the Crater Hoof, but I'm fine with that. Because that means I'm way less likely to die on my turn now. Okay. That blocks. Land. Concealing Curtains. And pass the turn. The Crater Hoof goes away. The Tireless Tracker still can't attack or block. Monty starts the turn with 2 cards in hand, gets to Sylvan up a bunch, but the thing is, Sylvan's and Clues isn't actually that bad because you have to put 2 of those cards back, so you can't really go super deep on Sylvan because I have a bunch of damage on the board. I have potentially 6 damage from creatures plus Kaito, which kind of represents an additional 2 if I make a drone. And I know the 2 cards in hand aren't creatures, because otherwise last turn I would have just died to Sneak Crater Hoof. So granted, there are definitely creatures you could sneak in that would win the game, like not beating an Emrakul or whatever. But, you know, you sneak in like a quest, or I guess you just cast Questing Beast. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. That would kill the Kaito and I'd take 4. But we'll see. I've got a Concealing Curtains and a Raphelos to block with. It feels like I've got some agency here. Monty can do a lot of digging with like Faithless Looting plus more clues. And Mindstone even. He's got a lot of clues in play effectively, but I feel like this is not a bad position. All right. Land, Tireless Tracker. Didn't take extra cards off Sylvan. So what's happening here? Also, does Monty have black cards in the deck? Unclear. We might find out now. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Okay. That's fine, I guess. Obviously, a lot of ways to die now. Wheel of Fortune sees a lot of cards with a sneak attack in play, so certainly could lose this game as a result. If not, though, I kind of like my next turn. I've got another Overgrown Tomb, so 4 mana off the Elves, plus 6 mana, so 10 mana. I get to do something like Liliana, Dwathi Voidwalker, Custodial Lich, or Grist, Custodial Lich, Voidwalker. Something along those lines. Basically, I get to play any 2 of these plus a Voidwalker, and I have a Kaito in play if we get to that point. Obviously, I could just lose this instant, but we'll see if the sneak gets activated. All right. We're cracking a clue. The first thing you do after Wheel of Fortune is crack a clue. That's... Obviously, I could still lose very easily, but that is not a scary play. You just don't do that if you've got a bunch of good plays to make. You know, the first thing I do when I untap with this hand I just got here is not tap 2 mana and to draw a card, even if that was an option. It could be that Monty has like actually Emrakul or Archon of Cruelty, something like ridiculous to sneak into play and is just frantically cracking clues looking for that. Okay, Talisman, you still could sneak twice here. I don't know. Every action that has been taken so far makes me feel a little better. All right, here's the big one. Activated Sneak. What do you got? What do you got? Kogla. Okay. That's fine. You can Kogla basically 2 of my creatures because I think I'll block rather than lose Kaito, but it'll depend if you Kogla, if you put something else in off sneak attack as well this turn. Certainly it is not that I just win if I take my turn, though. It would have been nice to draw one of my, specifically Animate Dead, because I can animate the Crater Hoof and go for that. Attack Kaito. Would I rather have Rafellos or Kaito? I guess I'd rather have Kaito than Rafellos here. Okay, you can have your Rafellos back. And presumably that's it? Okay. Oh, I don't want to just go there. All right, so I do a Soul Ring. That's +1 mana. So looking at my board, I have 5, 6, 7 off the Tree Speaker, 8 off my land drop, 9 off Soul Ring. Do I want to do anything else with Kaito? I guess it depends. I kind of want to play Custodial Lich and Voidwalker. In which case I kind of want to draw a card. I also would really like to see Grief or Animate Dead. Animate Dead, I could go for the win here. Okay, let's go Voidwalker. Do you have a response? I could also go Grist Liliana. Would that be better? Kind of feel like Custodial Lich is better. I think I'll play the island. Custodial Lich, get that Tireless Tracker out of here. What are we sneaking into play? Urtai or something? Oh, P and Karen Nalar. Oh. Yeah, I guess that's unfortunate. All right. And I guess any of the kill spells wouldn't have really worked there. You got to sack P and Kieran because that's going away anyway. Gets exiled and don't need to attack with or do anything with Tree Speaker. I can cycle the troll at some point. All right, I'll draw end of turn. So I had kind of a weak turn too. I actually feel now that I'm probably going to lose this turn, or this game rather. I don't know if I'm going to lose this turn. It depends. I'm giving Mati a little bit the benefit of the doubt here that he has not constructed a really bad sneak attack deck. So I think he's got more than just Crater Hoof and like Kogla to sneak into play. Because if not, he built a terrible deck. I don't think that's the case here. Right? Mati has done a lot of these team drafts, a lot of cube drafts, and I think wouldn't put sneak into the deck just for those things, which means when we do find what wants to get snuck into play, I assume we're going to lose to it. As is, the Thopters can, okay, here we go. Take out, or take the initiative. Okay, World Spine Worm. Interesting. I guess I'm kind of forced to block like this. And then I take 15. All right. I guess that's just my plays here. I don't really have any alternatives. They're the Monarch now. Oh, and I'm getting bolted. All right. Game 2. So I guess seeing more of the game, I'm going to put Duress back in. I do like Witherbloom still. Do I like go Theomancer? It feels a little medium. Like, yeah, it can block Tireless Tracker. It can't even block Questing Beast. It's not... It doesn't seem like the best. I think I can do better. All right. Let's play first. I guess I'll keep. Really would love to draw a spell or two, but I think this is worth keeping because, look, I'm on the play. I can have turn 3 Leovold into turn 4 Grief, and if I draw any cheap interaction before then, that's pretty nice too. It's not an ideal hand by any stretch, but it is, I believe, keepable. I have double black. All right, can I draw Witherbloom command? Be so good here. No, I guess I'll play Creeping Tar Pit. The good thing is Leovold does shut down Sylvan after this turn, so Mati gets 1 turn of Sylvaning. Obviously, if he kills Leovold, he gets as many turns as he wants. And hopefully he doesn't play too much life, but turn 1 Sylvan is pretty good. Ugh. If he had played turn 2 Sylvan, then I could Leovold it. That'd be nice. Also, I drew a land, of course, but it was at least a Creeping Tar Pit. Creeping Tar Pit can get in for some damage. All right, it takes 4. Maybe 12? Yep, or maybe 8 rather. Okay. At least it's not a Wheel of Fortune. Wall of Roots into a Rafellos. Oh, into Fauna Shaman, interesting. All right, let's go Leovold. And I'm not gonna pitch cast Grief here. Don't think that is what I want to do. The problem is if I pitch cast Grief, I'm just out of action by so much. I'd rather just cast Grief next turn, or maybe cast Concealing Curtains. If I draw a black spell, especially like a somewhat weak one, I can go Curtains, flip it, and then pitch cast Grief. That could be fine. Or if I drew like a Persist or Animate Dead, maybe I just pitch cast it and then animate it, or something along those lines. Your Sylvan doesn't get to draw extra cards this turn because of Leovold. You're at 12 versus a Creeping Tar Pit, so the Tar Pit is kind of nice actually. And we'll see what Fauna Shaman does for you here. Don't have any red mana, which is kind of nice. Fauna Shaman into a Mana Dork is decent, but then I get to Grief, whatever the payoff is going to be. You're probably not activating Fauna Shaman unless you're casting whatever it is you're getting right away. So, oh, nice, Kogla, because that could have killed Leovold, but it doesn't have the mana for it. Certainly not this turn, but we're gonna play. That's unfortunate. Tireless Tracker. The good thing about Tireless Tracker though is Leovold still messes with Tireless Tracker. You can only crack one clue per turn cycle, and only on my turn. No, do you also have a Lightning Bolt? All right. Oh, that's kind of interesting too. Just had it all, huh? Including the fetch land. So now, what do I do here? I could play and flip Curtains, or I can just cast Grief. I guess I could play and flip Curtains and then pitch cast Grief here. Well, I guess I'm going to take Sneak Attack. And I don't really need to pitch cast the Grief, I don't think, so I will wait. Sylvan Library is back on. Well, I got rid of Sneak. That at least is something. I do have some damage threatening with Creeping Tar Pit and Revealing Eye. I feel like we're going to be a step behind. We're going to lose this game to this Mox, honestly. It's kind of how it goes, you know. Soul Ring was really good for me game one, but like if this game was turn 2 Sylvan, I play a Leovold, then you play Fauna Shaman, and you know, they'd be a turn behind. Instead it was turn 1 Sylvan, turn 2 Wallroots Fauna Shaman, turn 3 Tracker Bolt. And that basically put me in a spot where I think I'm just playing catch up the whole game. That being said, Fallen Shinobi is definitely something. And if I draw, I mean, it's not much I even necessarily need to draw. It's a little bit more on what Mati does or doesn't do here. Because the thing is, Revealing Eye may or may not get in. He obviously knows about the Fallen Shinobi now. But if you have to double block with like Wall of Roots plus Fauna Shaman, that's not too bad, assuming the Tireless Tracker hits me. If the Tireless Tracker doesn't attack, that's a very different ball game. All right, land, get some clues. Hopefully you don't have like Through the Breach. Oh, is this Monster Manual? Sure, that's also unfortunate. Yeah, you can attack with Tracker first. I can't afford to block even if I think it would actually be in some ways good, because I feel like this is a Monster Manual, which means I probably can't win. I guess pitch casting Grief would have worked out a little bit better. Well, I kind of have an out. So let's go pitch cast Grief. How am I going to do this? Because what I can do is I can Grief to prompt the World Spine, and then I can Kaito the World Spine Worm so it can't block. The problem is then what do I do? Is that better than attacking with Revealing Eye? So I attack with Revealing Eye. It's kind of interesting. He puts World Spine into play, but still has to double block. I take out one of those. But I guess pitch casting Grief is basically like casting a Revealing Eye. Is that better? And what would I play afterwards? I guess, God, would I have to pitch the Fallen Shinobi? I suppose I probably would. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't like it, but this is the play I gotta make. In comes the World Spine Worm. I'm discarding 2 cards to do nothing. It would have worked a lot better to to just grief last turn, but I didn't think that was going to be the plan. And I could attack with the Revealing Eye. Yeah, I mean, I guess I should. And then, oh, I can return this with Kaito. Yeah, I was kind of surprised that you didn't block. That was actually kind of a misplay, I think, because now the drone token can trade for Tireless Tracker. Okay, it actually would have worked out better to replay Concealing Curtains. I really didn't think that was going to happen that way. But obviously there's a lot I still lose to here. All right, well, I mean, this ended up being a kind of interesting game. Certainly would have worked out better to grief earlier, but we're natural ordering away the World Spine Worm into Crater Hoof. Yeah, so it goes. In comes the Crater Hoof, and with 7 creatures in play, that'll do it. Unfortunately, the single eliminated person from this round was me. I was singly eliminated, and boom. All right, well, that'll unfortunately do it for today. Sometimes you get to beat them down. Sometimes you get beaten down, and today it was me getting beaten down. I will be back tomorrow with another draft, hopefully a more successful one. Kind of feel like we just didn't see any of the big animate targets and ended up just blue-black mid-range. But it also felt like, yeah, we got moxed out this game, so that'll happen. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you hanging out, and I'll see you next time with another Cube Draft. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and you won't miss a single draft.